as an art. You know, like Russell Westbrook, Vince Carter, those guys, LeBron even, like, I would watch those guys, and especially Westbrook with his thunderous dunks trying to bring the rim down with so much anger and aggression. And I just saw it like a way to kind of release a lot of pent-up energy, as well as something that if people say you can't do something and you want to do it and people are saying you cannot do it, it kind of makes you want to even do it more, you want to accomplish it more. So that was kind of how I felt with like my dunk journey. So I became obsessed from the age of like 13, 14. I started trying to grab rim, and I think even before I started training on how to dunk, I was able to graze the rim with my fingertips, you know, and it gave me hope, like, oh, you know, if I can do this without any training, I wonder what I could do if I really did dedicate a lot of training to this. From there, I started looking up programs, doing a lot of workouts, and anything I could find online that was like how to jump higher. I was Googling it. I was watching YouTube videos how to jump higher. Sometimes I would see some gains, sometimes I wouldn't. I bought ankle weights too. I would jump with ankle weights on, doing broad jumps in the backyard, trying to touch the highest point of a tree, things like that, you know, just really trying to push my limits and trying to jump higher. And then eventually I got to college and I dunked a basketball for the first time in warm-ups, like my senior year in college. And I was like, dang, I was actually upset because I was like, if I could have been doing this from freshman, sophomore year, I would have been like, you know, viral by now. Like I would have been scouted and everything, like drafted and all that. I thought dunking would be my pathway to, you know, the next level, like playing in the league and all that. But you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. And after that, I graduated and, you know, I didn't make the league, so I went overseas. While I was overseas, like, tragedy struck. One season, I dislocated my shoulder. I spent the entire summer, like, in Italy rehabbing my shoulder. Thankfully, my legs were okay, but the doctors told me that I shouldn't do any activity, like I shouldn't jump, because even if you're not using your arms, just like jumping, sprinting is gonna aggravate the shoulder. I was in bed rest for a couple of months. Luckily, one of my teams had like a low rim, so even if I wasn't able to dunk on a 10-foot rim, I started dunking on the low rim and practicing trick dunks, windmill, 360, two-hand, tomahawk, all that stuff, you know. So I kept doing that, and I felt like that also helped improve my bounce, because I might not have been able to dunk on 10, but just being able to like do all the tricks on like an 8-foot rim or a 9-foot rim, you know, gave me a lot more confidence to approach dunking on a 10-foot rim, and kind of made my legs stronger a bit and my core and my body adapt. Fast forward to one of my overseas games, I get a steal and I go down and I dunk, you know, but you know, you're overseas, so that's not gonna go anywhere, so nobody really cared. But I knew what that moment meant to me. It was really important. Like, I finally got my first in-game dunk, you know. So from there, it just became like, how to be more consistent. I haven't attempted another dunk in-game since then, because of like, I think the opportunities, like getting in-game dunks. When I was at dunk camp, I saw like, I'd asked the question, like, how do you get like in-game dunks? You know, with traffic, with people around you, people are chasing you. So they said, you know, to practice with people. When you're doing your dunk sessions, include people and say, yo, you know, push me or run at me and I'm gonna try and dunk. My dunk progression has been really, it's been a process. Like, it's been a long, gruesome process. You know, right now it might look like I'm getting up there easy, but this took years and years of just like pushing and trying different things and hoping it works out, you know. So that's been my dunk progress. I'm excited that you guys are on this journey with me as I keep on pushing, and hopefully I can start dunking more consistently in games. That's my next big goal, is just to be more consistent dunking in games. And you know, I hope to one day, you know, be in a dunk contest in the league, but who knows what's gonna happen over the next couple of years. But just like trying to stay healthy is also a big thing too. And then I went to dunk camp in June. That was an amazing experience because I'd known about all these big-time dunkers for a while. Rivera, Kilgannon, watched all their videos. Jay Clark, the jumper, Jordan Sutherland. Watched all these guys, you know, as I kept on pushing and trying to improve. I'd never seen a female dunker. I can do the kind of things that those guys were doing. Even the girls who can dunk in the league, like I've never seen anyone that's under, 6'5" doing that consistently. So that kind of really pushed me to say, okay, if people are saying you can't do it, you have to try and not even try to prove them wrong, but if you think you can do something and people are saying you can't do it, prove yourself right. I went to dunk camp and I won the dunk contest on 8 foot against 2 other girls. I hope next time I go to dunk camp there'll be more girls, more competition, and I can go on the 9 foot or something, or I can at least compete with the guys on 10 foot. I don't know, that's kind of a stretch, but I think there's so much more to come. Like there's so much more to strive for. Getting my first dunk was great, but now how do I get my second dunk in game? How do I get my third? How do I get to dunking consistently in games and not be worried about if I'm gonna miss, or if I'm gonna be embarrassed about going up and I'm wide open layup and I go to dunk and I miss. That's embarrassing. So that's kind of been like one of the things that held me back from attempting more in-game dunks, but I just want to like kind of break through that fear and kind of get to the point where I'm not afraid and I'm able to do it, and I have the ability, so I can just go and do it. And not for anyone else, but just for that little kid that was telling her dad that she's gonna dunk one day, and he supported me and he encouraged me. And then I finally did it, but it's still not enough, because doing it once doesn't mean you're good at something. You have to keep doing it consistently and keep proving that you can do it. So that my dunk progress is still ongoing. The process is still ongoing. You gotta trust the process. You gotta keep, setting more and more goals for yourself, more expectations for yourself. And eventually you're gonna get, better at it. Eventually you're gonna get stronger, you're gonna get faster, you're gonna be able to jump higher and do more cool stuff. So I'm really excited that you guys are on this journey with me, and I hope to keep on like making progress and bringing you guys along with me. And hopefully you guys, if you have the same goals, if you have similar goals, you can join and you can be inspired and we can inspire each other. That's really why that's really why I do this, So thanks for tuning in, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, follow the channel for more progress updates, follow the channel for support. Let's jump higher together. Peace out.